Hello everyone, my name is Kishore Kumar and I am currently in final semester purchasing BTech in Electronics Communication branch from Dronacharya Group of Institutions, Greater Noida. Today I am presenting the topic electronic waste, that is e-waste. Electronic waste is any broken or unwanted electrical or electronic appliances. E-waste includes computers, entertainment, electronics, mobile phones and other items that have been discarded by their original users. E-waste is the inevitable byproduct of a technological revolution driven primarily by faster, smaller and cheaper microchip technology. Society is experiencing an evolution in the capability of electronic appliances and personal electronics. For all its benefits, innovation brings with it the byproduct of rapid obsolescence. According to EPA, nationally an estimated 5 to 7 million tons of computers, televisions, stereos, cell phones, electronic appliances, and toys and other electronic gadgets become obsolete every year. According to various reports, electronics comprise approximately 1 to 4% of the municipal solid waste stream. The electronic waste problem will continue to grow at an accelerated rate. Electronic or e-waste refers to electronic products being discarded by consumers. E-waste is the most rapidly growing waste problem in the world. It is a crisis of not quantity alone but also a crisis born from ingredients posing a threat to the occupational health as well as environment. Rapid technology change, low initial cost, high obsolescence rate have resulted in a fast growing problem around the globe. If we talk about legal framework, proper collection system, missing imports regularly come to the recycling markets in human working condition for recycling. In between 1997 and 2007, nearly 500 million personal computers become obsolete, almost two computers for each person. 7,50,000 computers expected to end up in landfills this year alone. In 2005, 42 million computers were discarded, 25 million storage, 13 million in landfill, 0.5 million incinerated. IT and telecom are two fastest growing industries in the country. If we talk about India, by 2008, should achieve a PC penetration of 65 per thousand from the existing 14 per thousand. At present, India has 15 million computers, the target being 75 million computers by 2010. Over 2 million all PCs personal computers ready for disposal in India. Life of a computer reduced from 7 years to 3 to 5 years. If we talk about its implications of e-waste, electronic products often contain hazardous and toxic materials that pose environmental risk if they are landfilled or incinerated. Televisions, video, and computers monitors use cathode ray tubes (CRT), which have significant amount of lead. Printed circuit boards contain primarily plastic and copper, and most have a small amounts of chromium, lead, solder, nickel, and zinc. In addition, many electronics products have batteries that often contain nickel, cadmium, and other heavy metals. Relays and switches in electronic, especially older ones, may contain mercury. Also, capacitor in some type of older and larger equipment that is now entering the waste stream. Many contain polychlorinate biphenyls. You can reduce or we can reduce the environmental impact of your e-waste by making changes in your buying habits, looking for ways to reuse, including donating or recycling. Preventing waste to Preventing waste to begin with is the preferred waste management option. Consider, for example, upgrading or repairing instead of buying new equipment to extend the life of your current equipment and perhaps save money. If you must buy new equipment, consider donating your still working unwanted electronic equipment. The reuse extends the life of the products and allows non-profits, churches, schools, and community organizations to have equipment they otherwise may not be able to afford. In South Carolina, for example, Habitat for Humanity resale store, Goodwill, and other similar organizations may accept working computers. When buying new equipment, check with the retailer or manufacturer to see if they have a take-back program that allow consumers to return all equipment when buying new equipment. Dell Computers, for example, become the first manufacturer to set up a program to take back any of its products anywhere in the world at no charge to the consumer. And when buying, consider products with longer warranties as an indication of long-term quality. Looking at European continent, European Union has addressed the issue of electronic waste by introducing two pieces of legislation. The first legislation named the Directive on Waste, Electrical and Electronic Equipment, or WEEE directive, entered in force in 2003. The main aim of these directives was to regulate and motivate electronic waste recycling and reuse in member states at the moment. This regulative was revised in 2008 and the new WEEE directive came into force in 2014. Furthermore, European Union has also implemented the directive on the restriction of the use of certain hazardous substances in electrical and electronica equipment in 2003. These documents was additionally revised in 2012. When it comes to Western Balkan countries, North Macedonia has adopted a law on batteries and accumulators in 2010, followed by the law of management of electrical and electronic equipment in 2012. Serbia has regulated management of special waste stream, including electronic waste, by National Waste Management Strategy 2010 to 2019. Montenegro has adopted concessionary act concerning electronic waste with ambition to collect 4 kg of the waste annually per person until 2010. Albanian legal framework is based on the Draft Act on Waste from Electrical and Electronic Equipment from 2011, which focuses on the design of electrical and electronic equipment. Contrary of this, Bosnia and Herzegovina is still missing a law regulating electronic waste. A recently study about the rising electronic pollution in the USA revealed that the average computer screen has 5 to 8 pounds or more of lead, representing 40% of all the lead in US landfill. This shows the environmental impact. If we further talking about the all these toxins are persistent bioaccumulative toxins, that is PBTs, that create environmental and health risks when computers are incinerated, put in landfills, or melted down. The emission of fumes, gases, and particulate matter into the air. Any the discharge of liquid waste into water draining system and the disposal of hazardous wastes contribute to environmental degradation. The process of dismantling and disposing of electronic waste in developing countries led to a number of environmental impacts as illustrated in the graphic. Liquid and atmospheric releases end up in bodies of water, groundwater, soil, and air, or therefore in land and sea animals, both domesticated and wild, in crops eaten by both animals and human, and in drinking water. One study of environmental effects of GU China found the following. Airborne dioxins, one type found at 100 times precisely measured. Level of carcinogens in duck ponds and rice paddies exceeded external standards of agriculture areas. Cadmium, copper, nickel, and lead levels in rice paddies were above international standards. Heavy metals found in road dusts lead over 300 times that of controlled villages road dust and copper over 100 times. If we talk about the human health and safety, residents living around the e-waste recycling sites, even if they do not involve in e-waste recycling activities, can also face the environmental exposure due to the food, water, and environmental contamination caused by e-waste, because they can easily contact to e-waste contaminated air, water, soil, dust, and food sources. In general, there are three main exposure pathways: inhalation, ingestion, and thermal contact. Studies shows that people living around e-waste recycling sites have a highly daily intake of heavy metals and more serious body burden. Potential health risks include mental health, impaired cognitive function, and general physical health damage. DNA damage was also found more prevalent in all the e-waste exposed populations, that is adults, children, and neonates, and than the population in the control area. DNA breaks can increase the likelihood of wrong replication and thus mutation, as well as lead to cancer if the damage is to tumor suppressor gene. Prevental exposure to e-waste has found to have adverse effects on human body burden of pollutants of the neonates. In Guinea, one of the most famous e-waste recycling sites in China, it was found that increased cord blood lead concentration of neonates was associated with the parents' participation in e-waste recycling process, as well as how long the mother spent living in Guinea and in e-waste recycling factories or workshop during pregnancy. Besides a higher placental metathenion, a small protein marking the exposure of toxic metals, was found among neonates of GU as a result of CD exposure because of several reasons, such as their smaller size, higher metabolism rate, larger surface area in relation to their weight, and multiple exposure pathways. They are they were measured to have an 8-time potential health risks compared to the adult e-waste recycling workers. At the end, I would like to thank my HOD for giving me the opportunity to conduct this presentation.